I have a simple question. How many runs can I finish in 2 hours on the hardest difficulty available? You would be surprised how many problems that simple question would give me. This is the Rangers in the South, and for those that don't know, this is a 2.5D pixel art roguelite RPG which I truly believe is gorgeous. DPA Studios, the makers of the game, announced a new large update which will include new items, regional bosses, and a new class, the Necromancer, together with many new skills. But for us, it is important to know that we want as many gems as possible to upgrade those skills once they are released. Which means it's time to do runs. Without any further ado, let's begin the first run. I would also like to point out that for every single one of these runs, I'm doing it on the highest possible difficulty. For this specific run, it's 342%. Since I'm playing this game like it's a speedrun at this point, I'm trying to do stuff that's incredibly quick. So as you can see at the beginning of the run, I took the waypoint to spawn immediately in the center of the first zone, which is the plains, I believe. And the first goal in every single run is to get the first level. As I'm doing so, as I'm selecting the stats and later the skills for the gained level, I am looking for some kind of an increase in damage. The way that you can do it is straight up increasing the percentage of the attack damage, but you can also increase the attack speed of your weapon, and depending on which percentage is higher, I will choose one or the other. The next goal is to go inside the dungeon. The reason why is because I'm able to get a lot of XP, even maybe sometimes some chain combos, and in doing so I'm of course getting a lot of XP, but also at the end of the dungeon I'm able to usually kill several bosses, and after them I'm able to loot chests. Both the bosses and the chests have items, and hopefully I'm able to get some kind of a item that will increase my damage or attack speed and so on. Of course, the bosses themselves also give a lot of XP each, so the dungeons are a fantastic way to do runs. As you can see right now, I'm level 5 and I do have several skills. In the top left corner of the video, you can see that I have 4 skills acquired. The first one is called Nocturne, and it increases the damage I do at night and the speed, I think, that I move at night. The skill below it, the one that's kind of yellow-green color, it's a skill that increases my damage with bows, I think, for 17% or something like that. Yeah. But the one that's incredibly interesting is the skill below it. It's called the Naked Man, I believe, and the idea of that skill is that it increases your damage by 50%. Remember that I said before that it's incredibly important in the beginning of the run to increase the damage that I deal, and this skill increases my damage by 50%, but at the cost of equipping items as armor, and that's kind of, I mean, it's fine as long as I have enough damage. That's basically it. As you can see right now, we leveled, but we also got a completed combo chain. A completed combo chain is when you kill more than 30 enemies in a short amount of time. As the name suggests, you're chaining them. And afterwards, if you do succeed to do that, you would get a divine coin. A divine coin is very important for several reasons. At the end of the run, you're able to buy items. Essentially, it's gambling at the altar, and in doing so, you can increase your stats by a huge margin. Like every single item there is incredibly powerful. As you saw, right now we went back to the town in order to sell the items. Selling the items is not as important now at the beginning of the game, but a clear inventory is very beneficial for us, as usually you want to pick up as many items as possible. We are on the lookout for weapons. As you know, we are not able to equip armor because of our perk, but if we are able to find a stronger bow or a stronger main hand weapon, as a sword or a spear or an axe or a hammer, etc., is going to be extremely beneficial for us. We just entered the new zone, the new biome. It's the forest, and the jump in difficulty is serious. Instead of just the orcs, you will find here the undead in the forest, and they also have so they move more quickly, and also they have specific enemies called mages, which throw spells at you. It's basically like a stronger archer or something of the sort. On the ground as well, you can see that there are like brambles, or they look like bushes, and they each deal a lot of damage. I think it's 10% of your HP or something similar to that. In other case, it's a lot of damage, and it's best that we avoid them as we move in the overworld. As you can see, if you just entered a new dungeon, I'm trying to do at least one dungeon in every single zone. I explained the reasons for it and the benefits. I also want to talk about the skills that I have acquired in this run still. So the fourth skill from the top is called parkour, and it's a skill that says that every single time I jump for the next 2 seconds, I get a speed boost. It's a fantastic skill in the exploration phase, so above the dungeons. But here in the dungeons, it's actually kind of it's not good, because the way that you control your character is kind of like steering a boat, as in it has momentum, so it's not that good. Also, here are the bosses, 4 bosses, and I'm extremely happy. It means I'm certainly gonna find some okay items, but most importantly, I'm able to get several levels from this dungeon and go closer to our goal to be level 20 before we face the final boss. In the top left of the screen, you can see a skill. It's called Vampire. It's a fantastic skill. It's a skill which will help me heal as I'm attacking enemies. It's a fantastic skill because the ability to heal your character is not that easily found in the game. I also want to point out that the skill below parkour, so the fifth skill, is called Go Vegan, and it's a fantastic skill in theory because it reduces the hunger rate for your character by 95%. That's important because one of the difficulty options that I maxed out is the hunger rate. As you can see in the bottom left corner of your screen, you can see like 4 cabbages, I believe so, which represent my hunger bar. If a cabbage is depleted, it means that my character will move more slowly, attack a little bit slower, and will do a little bit less damage. The benefit of the Go Vegan skill, as I mentioned, is that it will, in theory, reduce the hunger rate by 95%. It means that very rarely I would need to eat, but that's not how it works. For some reason it's bugged, which means that not only am I not able at this moment in the run to eat the meat that I have in the inventory, it means that the only way for me to get food which depletes at the same rate as before is to get flowers, but they are more rare than meat, so it's kind of a problem right now. I would also like to point out that right now I'm going to take the skill called Barbarian, and it's a fantastic skill. It increases your damage by a certain percentage, but it also increases the cooldowns of your skills by 75%. It means that, for example, your spells and so on and your abilities are almost their cooldown is almost double, which it's for a spell-based character, which you will see in the next round, spoiler, that would be incredibly bad, you know. But for us, we are we are naked. We are right now using a bow, and that's it. It's fantastic for us. Also, we have entered the desert, the dunes or something like that, and again the spike in the difficulty is massive, but also there's many enemies in the desert. There's a lot more enemies here than inside of the forest, which for us is fantastic. As you can see, we can do the combo chains much more easily, and because of them we can get divine coins and also get experience and so on. It's fantastic. This zone is also known for having a lot of bosses. I call the large enemies here bosses, but their names can be champions, guardians, sentries, and so on. And they do a lot more damage, they have a lot more HP, but the benefit if we defeat them is that we get a lot of experience and in specifically in the dunes and the later zones, every boss that we kill is gonna have a divine coin. At this point in the run, I've noticed that I'm getting a lot of XP and levels, of course, and they're
with the divine coin.
as long as it continues like this, there is no reason to go inside of the dungeon, since already I'm doing a lot of damage, and I'm already high enough level. I mean, I will be if it continues like this. So I'm thinking of just staying in of the dunes, the desert, and to try to avoid the dungeon in the desert altogether. I would also like to point out that the last skill that we got was called Magic Gladiator, and the skill is special because it will double, I believe, our attack speed for 3 seconds as long as we use a skill that's under 5 seconds. So as soon as I got that skill, I know that first of all I will do a lot of damage because my attack speed and my damage is gonna be insane, but also that I need to find a skill, at least 2 skills, which I can use I mean, that have a cooldown under 5 seconds, and the ones that I can use very often. You saw the first skill, it's here on number 2 right now. It's called the boomerang, and the skill itself is not strong, but it has a cooldown of 2 seconds, I believe, so it's fine. And again, on the bottom you have my hotbar, and the first skill in the hotbar is a blade dash, and it's a fantastic skill. For some reason it also triggers the magic gladiator, so I'm happy to use it basically. Let's move a little bit into the future. Right now I'm inside the town, and I'm trying to sell all my loot, since soon I'm gonna go directly inside the new zone, or I mean the next zone, and it is the 1000 peaks, I believe. It's basically the mountains and the 1000 steps, and the zone is very difficult. Specifically, it's because it's made like a labyrinth, and as you can see right now, I noticed that I do not have enough damage. In the desert I have a lot of damage. I'm able to kill the enemies in a single hit or maybe 2, but here I need a lot and many hits in order to defeat an enemy. The next problem that we will face in the mountains is the food. Since I took the Go Vegan skill, I'm not able to eat meat, of course, but here in the mountains it's extremely rare to find a herb, and also if you do find it, the herb or the fruit or whatever, the vegetable, it's either on a layer below you or above you, and it's basically a choice of, you cannot have that flower if it's a level above you, or you want to lose time by going a level below you in order to harvest the flower. So it's kind of difficult to both find food and also to find enough XP, as in inside of a chain, in order to get a lot of XP and levels fast. Let's skip here and go straight inside the dungeon. I see here that I'm close to level 20, which is my goal before I go to fight the last boss. Food for us is a eternal problem. Remember, if we do not have enough food, and if you lose that point there, we will be slower, we will do less damage and attack more slowly. It creates a huge problem for us because inside the dungeon you will not find any food, which means we have to do the dungeon incredibly quickly and efficiently. We finally found the boss room, and I'm truly looking for a bow or something of the sorts from these enemies. Again, I don't have any equipment on me except for the weapons, and actually the only weapon I use is the bow, so I'm truly looking for a new bow. I'm going back to the city, to the village actually, in order to sell the equipment and trying to find, I don't know, some better equipment for my hand. Now that I'm done with the dungeon and with the items, I'm also having a problem to pick up that item, and I say to myself, I don't need that item. I cannot even equip it, you know. So it's fine. So I'm done with the dungeon, but now we have the constant huge problem. I don't have food. I'm trying really hard to reach the new zone right now, but also to get some food. I right now have no food on me, I believe, and I'm almost down to starving. I'm still trying to reach the the new zone, but I'm taking the scenic route. I hope that at some point I'm able to find some kind of a herb to eat and stuff like that. Of course I do not find it, but I do find a spear that's I'm not sure if it's better than my weapon, but right now I have a choice. Do I go back to the town and try to find some flowers in the first zone, because here, as I mentioned, in the mountains and in next to the volcano, actually here inside the mountains, there's no herbs. I mean, there are, but they're very rare, and I'm trying to clear my way to the waypoint of the next zone, while at the same time it's a nice try. While at the same time I'm trying to get as many divine of coins as possible. Right here I ran out of food completely. I have no food in my inventory and my guy is hungry, you know. I'm extremely slow here, and my entire now goal is to get to the waypoint and to try to go back to the town or some other zone, and to try to find some flowers. Again, this run is a speed run. Me of having to go back to the previous zone to find something to eat is extremely slow, of course, for a speedrun, but it's faster, I believe, here to go back to the previous zones to pick up some flowers than to risk and to go slowly like this with lower damage and so on into the final zones. In the end, I found enough flowers to fill my hunger bar, and I think that should be enough for the run. But again, all of this time is wasted for some flowers, but it's fine, you know. Right here, I believe I found enough food to end the run, and I immediately go to the waypoint, and from the waypoint in the crater I went to the divine altar. I use the divine altar and I find a bow immediately. That's fantastic. Immediately, as soon as I found the bow, I knew it's gonna be fantastic for the run because of the amount of damage and our skills and abilities and traits and so on. And I slowly make my way. I also have a very close call several times in here, specifically because while I do have a lot of damage, remember, I have no equipment, as in I don't have a helmet, a chest plate, legs and so on. I'm naked. So these enemies are incredibly fast, and also they do a lot of damage, especially if you're naked. Thankfully, I do have the bow, and I'm able to find here some of the flowers. Look at that, a crit, that's 944 damage. So I do have a lot of damage, I just do not have enough health to be safe here. So I have to go slowly, I have to go around. I'm also afraid of the bosses. If a boss or several of them attack me at the same time, I'm probably dead, because every single hit by the boss is going to be around half of my HP, if not more. I tried something special there, but it didn't work. So anyway, I'm sprinting. I'm trying to go as quickly as possible to the final boss. Now I know I have everything I need in order to defeat it, and that I have
Let's go.
A lot of damage.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. And that's it.
Okay, good.
That's the first run. And it's a...
Put a stop on the timer, okay, for the first run.
And it's very exciting for me. It's incredibly exciting for me. Almost 70,000 gems in a single run. So the first run was alright. It wasn't extremely quick, but it's fine. 39 minutes, 6 seconds, fantastic run. On to the second one. The second run. I still remember this run. This is the run where I decided to start as a mage. And then, again, of course, the hardest possible difficulty. But also, the decision to start as a mage is an incredibly bad decision. The mage at the beginning of the game is not made to be quick. In fact, the mage doesn't have spells. It has a wand which attacks very slowly and does almost no damage. In fact, starting as a mage has no benefit at all. In fact, it's the worst class possible. So the problems arose immediately in the beginning of the run. As you can see, immediately I have problems to defeat enemies. the only thing I can do is attack with my wand, but my wand is weak. As I mentioned, low damage, low attack speed, and so on. And of course, my first goal is to level up and then to go inside the dungeon, but the problem is I cannot go inside the dungeon like this. I'm too weak to go inside the dungeon. So I took the flaming butt spell because it's the best for a speedrun. Oh, a spear. But I I need to be a higher level to use it. So I also thought about exchanging my weapon instead of the wand to something else until I can get a sorcerer or I guess mage build online. But in the beginning at least I chose not to. You will see this run is incredible. Again, we have problems with food again in this run, and it's gonna be a hassle to stay on top of our food situation, as well as earn enough XP to level up quickly, and so on and so on. Around 5 minutes after the start of the run, we have entered our first dungeon. As you can see, that's incredibly slow. But at least right now I found a spear and I equipped it. It does much more damage than the wand. Of course, it's a weapon that has to be used in melee. And also we have a spell. It's called Meteor. Now, the Meteor spell doesn't actually do a lot of damage because we don't actually have a lot of stats for a mage. Again, we are kind of like a terrible, well, mage and everything else. I almost took a fast hands, I think, here. But I'm really in need of any way to do damage. So a new spell, etc. Also, I have incredible problems with food. Remember, I'm inside the dungeon. I'm down to food points, and I don't have any meat to use. Thankfully, we finally found the boss room, but yet again we kind of have a small problem. We don't actually do damage. We do not heal, and we're not quick. So even this boss fight takes a very long time. But hopefully we get something fantastic out of it, right? As a choice for skills from the level up, we have an interesting choice, either haste or a quick mind. Of course, for a spellcaster, the best choice is quick mind, but we have a problem. We are not a spellcaster. We are some kind of a melee character or something. So haste is actually important. In fact, it's needed. But thankfully we found some gear, some actually very nice mage gear, and we now kind of look like a spellcaster, except now with a sword, a much better sword. But we also found a much better spear. It's a legendary spear, but it's level 6. So it's kind of, I mean, it's fantastic for this level. Look, it's a 60 damage critical. Like, I mean, it's fantastic, right? It's just it's not very useful right now. Somewhere at this point here, even though I got several divine coins and everything, I have kind of decided and figured out actually that this run is going to be like a meme run. A run where nothing goes the way I want, and but I'm still, you know, I'm still doing fantastic choices. I'm still trying to do a lot of damage. I'm still trying to go really fast, but something isn't right, right? I mean, 10 minutes have passed, maybe a bit more. I'm still not out of the first zone and so on. It's kind of a slow run, but I still enjoy it, of course. I'm playing it. And I found the spell for Chain Lighting. Chain Lighting is a fantastic spell, specifically because it's a range spell, of course. It has a incredibly small cooldown. It does a lot of damage and it hits several enemies at once. If I find some of the perks or the traits or the spells that increase the damage that I do or that heal me based on the amount of magical damage that I do, I'm finally gonna be a phenomenal spellcaster. My entire goal right now is to get to a dungeon and try to clear it as fast as possible. I also want gear because right now I can equip a helmet, gloves, and so on. So I'm able to find fantastic like pieces that are specifically made for the mage class, which will in turn give me magical damage, which I need, of course, in order to increase the damage that my spells do. Also, as you can see, I'm almost dead. I have no ability, no way to heal. And also, that's incredibly bad because I am a spellcaster. The only way for me to heal is, of course, to eat food and later a specific skill which allows me to heal for small amounts depending on how much damage I do with specific spells. We are back now inside the dungeon after the town, and my entire idea is to get to the bosses as quickly as possible. If I do manage to get enough XP to level up, my next point is to find some way to either extend my hunger bar, so I believe I will test it once more, or for me to heal or to do more damage. It took me so long, as you can see, to find the bosses, and I'm also happy because there are, I think, 4 bosses, but the problem is I do no damage, I have low HP, but finally and thankfully I'm able to kill them. I do find a bow. Let's see if I'll use the bow in this run. Now that I'm outside of the dungeon, I'm trying to figure out how to survive. As you can see, I'm always low on HP. The entire duration of the zone, the forest, I am low HP. And remember that I can run into the bushes, those brambles, and they will do a ton of damage, like 40 damage or something, every time I step into a single one of them. So the only way right now that I'm healing is by eating food, which isn't a fantastic way to heal, of course, in this game. I decide, maybe erroneously, that I have nothing else to gain in the forest. I have already wasted enough time, and out of desperation, let's say, I have decided to go inside the desert, though I have a huge problem inside the desert. I don't do enough damage to kill the mobs. If you remember, inside the desert there are a lot of mobs, and they do not a lot of damage, but if they attack very often, they are able to bring me down, especially again because I cannot heal. I tried to go to the dungeon right here, but I've understood that I'm not able to do the dungeon. I don't have enough damage, I don't have enough health, so I decided to gain a level, hopefully another level, before I enter the dungeon. In the end, I decided to not do the dungeon and to try to get a new level. I did get the new level and a bit some, but the problem is I ran out of food. The way that I have decided to do the desert right now is similarly to how I did it in the first run, meaning that I will do as much as possible in the without using the dungeons, though I quickly find out that I need more items. I do enter the dungeon and I try to be as quick as possible. Again, I'm not doing enough damage to be effective in the dungeon, but I truly believe that the XP and the items that I get from the dungeon will improve my situation. I do hope so, you know. So I do get to the bosses, and thankfully right now I do have some fantastic spells. Also, I do have a way to heal. If you see on the top left, it is the fifth skill, I believe. It's the exact skill that I talked about. It's the skill which allows me to heal when I use spells that have the cooldown shorter than 5 seconds or something along those lines, or longer than 5 seconds actually.
As soon as I left the dungeon, I went to the city to sell off my loot, to try to find some better items, of course, and I didn't actually find anything special. Of course, my next goal is to go to the mountains, to the next zone. As you'll see very soon, I very quickly realized that I do not have enough damage to be inside the zone. I do have now enough spells that do a nice amount of damage, but my skills themselves do not do, like I don't have enough items to do enough damage. So the first thing that if I want to do, because I'm of course already wasted a lot of time. I mean, it's not wasted. I'm trying my best, of course, here, but is to go to the dungeon, to find a way to go on the top room, on the top level of the mountain here, and to go inside the dungeon. And hopefully, I find some food before it, because food is scarce, and hopefully I can find some new items that will increase my magical damage that I do, because as you can see I'm a flack in damage. Now I'm close to the dungeon, as you can see in the top right corner on the minimap, but I'm still concerned with my food situation and also again my damage potential. Because of my lack of damage, it means that I will do the dungeon much more slowly, but I hope that I'm able to find something amazing from this dungeon, something that is gonna increase my damage, something that's, I don't know, something that will help survivability and so on. As you can see maybe right now, my equipment that I have equipped right now, it doesn't actually increase my magical damage that much, but what it does allow me to do is to tank a lot of enemy damage. My build is kinda right now is focused on defense and evading attacks. Evading attacks is a percentage chance for each attack that you get hit by to evade or negate the damage completely. And as you can see, quite often as the enemies attack me, I ignore the damage. Also, because I do heal quite often, not for large amounts of health, but consistently, I'm able to survive a lot of the damage that I take. It still takes a long while to get to the bosses, but you'll see that once I get to the bosses, I stop and I quickly understand that I'm actually not in danger to die from them. Yes, they do damage sometimes, they're quick, but I'm actually not in a danger dying to them. So soon I have an idea to try to go defeat the last boss. We still do not have enough damage, of course, that's our biggest problem, but we'll see what I do. My next idea is, of course, to go to another dungeon, inside another dungeon, and try to find yet again equipment in order to become more powerful. But also, the dungeons are the best place, especially here in the mountain biome, to get levels. And to gain levels until 20 is a surefire way for me to get damage and to get health and so on, like survivability. Again, though, the dungeons here are not easy, as you can see. Not only am I kind of too quick for the dungeons, I still am lacking the basic damage for the dungeon clears. Thankfully, not long after, just a few minutes, I find the path to the bosses. Yet again, I'm not scared from the bosses. I just hope they have some beautiful equipment. In the end, I do manage to find some great equipment, but not for us. It's for a warrior build and so on. So if I take my level here, it's everything is standard, and then I go back to the village to sell my equipment and see if the blacksmith has some equipment for me, so I can buy it, because I do have a lot of gold. Right after the village, I go to the right, to the east, to the first zone in the game, and specifically I want to find a lot of flowers. It's food. I know that the clock is ticking and that I need to finish this run, but I have to become stronger for the last zone. So my idea at the moment is to get some food, some flowers, and afterwards to get inside another dungeon to get my final level and hopefully to find a new item. But before that, I went to the divine altar to use it for a single item, and the item that I got, you'll soon see, is not that good actually. I mean, as a necklace, it's the best possible necklace that you can get, I guess, but if you compare it to other items like the weapons or the armor and so on, it doesn't have a lot of stats. But anyway, I'm trying to go to the boss. I see my HP is melting. I see that I'm not quick enough. At some point here, I decide that it's simply not possible for me to go to the final boss. I do not have enough damage, and I indeed have to go to another dungeon to find my final level and to try to get some new items. I went as quickly as possible to another dungeon, and also I do not have to kill all the enemies, especially because if I'm gonna get the final level inside of the dungeon, as soon as I defeat the bosses, and maybe even sooner, you know. We found the boss room incredibly quickly. Actually, it was just a minute and a half or something. But still, I like to point out that the mobs inside of the dungeon here, and here I knew I'm strong enough to take the final boss, because I tanked all of them while standing still. I knew I was ready. But also, the enemies here in the dungeon are actually the strength of the enemies from the final zone. It's called the crater, even though their sprites do not look like the enemies from that zone. My idea here is to go back to the village, to sell the items, and then to take the waypoint to the crater, but I forgot about it, and I took the town portal instead. So now I have to walk all the way back to the new zone on foot, which is absolutely slow, but we have to do it. I finally have entered the zone, and it's dangerous, incredibly dangerous. As you can hear, the amount of damage that they're doing, their speed, their everything is incredible. My entire idea is to pick up a few of these lava flowers, because I do need to have something to eat. Look at my HP. Look at my HP. Incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. I also find out right now that if I use my lighting spell without any targets, I still get healed. So if I use it to basically passively heal myself. Now my entire idea is to go straight to the boss. He's going to be incredibly dangerous because I do not have a lot of HP. If he attacks me, there is a fine chance that I ignore his attack, but if he does hit me, he will do an insane amount of damage, like 400 damage and so on. So what I end up doing is to basically avoid his charge. Is to avoid his charge. So when he attacks me directly, I go left or right and so on. So far so good. As long as I avoid his attacks, I'm good. And he charges. And finally, after
That was close.
an hour and maybe 10 minutes,
Yes.
I have finally done it. An incredibly tough run, but for the third and final run, I leave the live Golden Dragon to explain it.
Okay, so Arctic the Tailor is gonna be the one from this village that will defeat the Demon Lord in 20 minutes. I have no idea how to do it, okay? I just saw the timer. I don't have a second monitor, right? So I have to stop the run in order to see my time. It's almost exactly an hour and 40 minutes. So it means that we have 20 minutes to finish this run, which is incredibly low. Okay, but listen, I have a plan, okay? I have a plan. So first of all, the Hair 7 guy, that's a must. He is the quickest. I truly wanted to try the axe and shield for this run, but we have 20 minutes to finish the run and I really want to do it. So I have used all my gems to make this build better. The plan is simple. I will use a bow. So far, again, if there are no guides on the internet, of course, the bow seems to be the best. It attacks the quickest, it does the most amount of damage, and so on. And I think that's going to be the way that I'll try to win this run. It looks so complicated, okay? But we will do it, okay? So for the difficulty, as much as possible, 140 now, hunger rate, 400%. And to further add, of course, no gold kept on death, no potions, and the events, ambient events are on. And let's start the run. The important thing about this run is that we only have 20 minutes to complete the run. I would also like to mention that if I am able to complete the run in 20 minutes, it's also gonna be the world record for the game, but also it's gonna be on the highest possible difficulty, which is an achievement that I'm gonna be proud of if I'm able to accomplish it. The beginning of the run is completely standard. I'm trying to find enough XP for a level. Then after I get a level, I'm trying to find something that increases my damage. We found haste, which is fantastic. Then we will enter the first dungeon and try to complete it, of course, as quickly as possible. It didn't take long to find the boss room, and also, if you can see, for my third level, I got the skill called parkour. It's a fantastic skill. It increases my speed of movement. Before I killed the last boss, though, I did something clever. I actually initiated my level up, so I get the entire X speed that's possible from the final boss. It's a small optimization, but I have to beat the game in 20 minutes. It's going to be a challenge. I need every single small thing that I can get. Very quickly, I got to the bridge that leads to the forest. I did get some items. I'm trying to equip my guy, but the only thing that we are actually on the lookout is a bow. Of course, if you want as much equipment as possible, like armor, to increase our HP, to increase our defense, to increase our speed, or to increase our evade chance, or damage, or attack speed. Essentially, whatever we find on the items, as long as they have some stats on them, it's going to be fantastic.
I decided that the best possible course of action, of course, is to take the dungeon that's closer to the desert. As soon as we get outside of the dungeon, we are able to go immediately into the desert and continue to get XP and everything. The goal of entering the dungeons hasn't changed. The idea is to get as much XP as possible and to get as many items as possible. Thankfully, I had a fantastic luck with the switches. Not long after we're at the bosses, there's only 2 bosses and only a single chest in the dungeon. That's terrible luck. But thankfully, I found fantastic skills for this level up. So right after this dungeon, I want to go back to the town to sell all my items, to try to find a new bow or something stronger than I'm using, and then to continue to, as quickly as possible, to farm experience. I didn't find any fantastic stuff on the blacksmith, so I immediately ported back and I went to the desert. I'm thankful that while I am weak inside the desert, it's not as weak as I can be. I'm able to heal. I attack quickly. I do okay damage. I even found some food. Again, food is incredibly important in this run. It decides a lot of stuff. My goal for right now is it's no secret. I'm trying to find the dungeon and to finish it as quickly as possible, because right after the dungeon I plan to go directly inside the mountains if I'm strong enough. I found the bosses rather quickly, the boss room, and yet again only 2 bosses and only a singular chest. As soon as I saw this, I knew that I'm gonna have potential problems with gear and my stats and traits. Since I didn't feel strong enough, I decided to form another chain and to go to another dungeon that's a little bit north of the first one, inside the desert. Again, I'm not high enough level to go inside the mountains, but I do need to be very quick in everything I do right now. And the bosses are right there. I immediately see several chests. I see 3 bosses, I see 3 chests, and I'm incredibly happy. That means a lot of experience. That means many chances for fantastic gear, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm equipping some of the gear that I found. Simply, it's much better, but I also noticed that some of the gear is old gear, not really useful. Thankfully, I found a fantastic helmet and in general equipment, and I kind of feel nice about this run right now. The only thing that I need at this moment is a new bow. But I know that I do not have enough time to get a new bow somehow to the dungeon or something like that, and then to go to the boss to defeat him. So instead, what I do is I go to the blacksmith to sell all my items for some gold and to try to find a strong bow. Again, I'm too low a level, but I have to go to the boss right now if I stand to have any chance of killing the boss in time. I of course need food, but what I'm after is actually an ace in the sleeve. You see, I'm at 12 divine coins. If somehow I'm able to kill a few more bosses, to get a few more chains to 30, I'm able to grab a divine item. And if that divine item is something fantastic like a bow or a chest plate or boots or whatever, it's gonna be a fantastic item for me. And truly with that item I'm gonna be confident, or I guess more confident, to go and to defeat the final boss. But I quickly noticed the problem. I do not have time to farm anything, XP, items, anything. I have to go to the boss immediately. I know I have around 2 minutes to do it, and that should be plenty. But my HP is getting very low. If you remember on the previous runs, I tried a lot of stuff in order to not get killed, but for this one I have failed. Too much damage, too low a level, too low a speed. My own damage, it wasn't enough, and so on. And in the end, I tried to do 3 runs in 2 hours, and I have failed. But I couldn't leave that failure to be just hanging in the air. I had to do something about it. I knew that I have 20 minutes and I have to do a run. So I took a break, refocused myself, recentered myself, convinced myself that I'm able to do it, and then... Okay, everyone, this is it. Final round. I still will have 20 minutes to finish it, okay? If we are able to finish it in 20 minutes, it's gonna be the world record. But also, I checked, but also it's gonna be on the hardest available difficulty to me, okay? 399% extra challenge, okay? Of course, here 7, and we are going to try to be very fast, very fast, okay? Incredibly quick, in 20 minutes, and hopefully we will find a bow, like any bow, just so it's not a level 1 bow, you know? Everything is set, okay? 3, 2, 1, let's go, okay? Immediately I'm gonna go to the southern grasslands, and I'm gonna go south. Actually, yes, if I find the flowers, I will take them, specifically because at some point we might have to go to the route for the vegans if we do not find enough food. It's as simple as that, you know. The start, it's a fantastic spell, but no. Haste, good. Was very similar to the other starts. Okay, let's go. Except for I found the haste spell in the beginning. As you can see, I got a level. I went inside the dungeon, again the same dungeon in the grasslands, and I'm clearing it all the way to the end, of course. We did find the boss room rather quickly, but I just wish I was somehow quicker. Exactly. The speed of my character was too slow. Okay, speed. Defense is going to be very important. Parkour, that's amazing. Okay, good. Tomahawk. And thankfully, we found the parkour spell. Okay, let's go. I'm slow now because I have no food, basically. Okay. Food, as with any single run, is a huge problem in this run. But instead of me having a consistent problem with food, I'm trying to first of all to have as much food as possible, but second of all to be as quick as possible. Of course, I do want to be as quick as possible, specifically because I only have 20 minutes to get to the final boss and to kill him. As you can see, also we have already entered the second zone, and we're slowly but surely completing the zone. I have decided, I believe here, that I will go to
the bottom dungeon here instead of the upper one, because I can always use the waypoint, I believe, to go back wherever I want. The waypoint is actually on to the east from here, so it's not that far away. Oh man, I need this food. As I said, okay. I need this food. I also have a need to enter this dungeon, but first, before I do anything,
Oh wow!
As you can see,
Okay. Don't die! Don't die!
there's so many enemies. I first want to kill every single one of them. As you can see, I kind of have a problem with damage. I'm not able to quickly kill all of them, but still, if I'm able to kill them, I'll get a lot of XP and levels and everything. Again, HP is a problem.
Yes.
And also, I'm trying to go very quickly. I do defeat all the enemies, and then I go inside the dungeon. But before I go inside the dungeon, of course, I had a level, and I chose the skill called Replicate Attack. And the reason why that skill is fantastic is because it gives you a chance, I think it's 50%, that every single attack that you do is duplicated to the nearest enemy for the same amount of damage. So it's a fantastic damage up.
I think I pressed it. I'm not 100% sure. I'm almost at the bosses. Yeah. I should watch out. The bosses hit really hard here. Yep. It's not fun. Okay. Stack damage. I'll go back to the town, try to sell some stuff and equip some stuff that I found, but we are in need of a bow. I found a bow. Okay. Let me sell this. Let me sell this. And let me buy this bow. Good. Okay, now we are incredibly strong. We should be fine for hopefully the rest of the challenge. I feel immensely powerful here. I'm able to do immense amount of damage very quickly. I still don't have a fantastic survivability, but I don't believe that's gonna be a problem. So many
still, if I see a lot of enemies, I'm not scared.
But that's exactly what we want.
We want, you see, we want a lot of enemies because it means I can increase the chain. It means I can increase my XP gain and so on. It's fantastic. I got a few levels in the desert, and I still decided that it would be for the best to go inside the dungeon to further level up and to try to find even better items, you know, not just the bow and stuff, but my chest plate, my gauntlets, my helmet, and so on. I found the bosses rather quickly. I'm in love because I found 3 bosses and 3 chests. Hopefully something fantastic is gonna drop for us.
Dragon boots, okay.
Dragon boots are fantastic for us because they can have damage on them.
Speed, right? Yeah, I need attack speed.
Attack speed is also fantastic. But in the end, it turned out that the boots were not good, nor any of the items that we found. So I decided to sell everything for an off chance that later I can buy something good.
I have to buy this. Okay, good.
I found a fantastic bow. I'm still not a high enough level to use it, but it's an upgraded bow. Any amount of damage is gonna be fantastic. Also, I went to the crater, and here I'm searching for enemies and even more XP, so I can get a few levels to equip the bow that I just bought. The problem is I'm too low a level and I do not have HP for this zone. I'm almost dead.
No.
And the boss is on me.
No.
Incredibly dangerous.
Ooh, I'm so close to dying.
I have no way to heal. I'm so close to dying. I'm searching for that final level so I can equip the bow and hopefully find like the vampirism skill or something, because all the enemies hurt so much. 100 damage to me. Also, I see the time. If I can somehow equip my bow, and I understand very quickly that I need to go right now. I need the vampire trait. Need the vampire trait. Crystal speed and the vampire trait. And here I'm using all my divine coins to try to find the vampirism skill. It's that important to me. I am still using it. And here it is. Let's go. We have no time anymore. Go, 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 go. But we still have a problem. No. I died immediately. Truly tried. Even though this run was a failure, I choose not to end it on this. I'm gonna try for as long as it takes to do it under 20 minutes. This is gonna be try number 2. And even though I'm incredibly optimistic for this run, I have to say that the beginning of this run was much slower and much worse than the beginning of the last run. There was something strange in the air for this run. I ran into many brambles, I got attacked by many enemies, almost died many times just doing regular stuff. Just playing the game. Also, when inside the dungeon, I almost died many times. Very low HP all the time. I'm trying to heal so much. Of course, I don't have any capacity to heal. The only way is, of course, with food. I also got lost inside the dungeons for a long time, like for minutes at a time, which is incredibly slow. And while I did find the bosses 2 minutes later, by the way, it's still the same dungeon. I almost died from them. Again, I had to do it much more slowly than before. I also am doing much less damage than I did before. I still have level 1 bow, the bow that I started with. So I hope that some of the bosses here or the chest there will drop another bow for me. Though, as you can see, I have to run away and to take a level in order to get more XP, but also to heal to full. When you take your level up, you of course you heal to 100% HP. Disappointed by the result, I left the first dungeon quickly and immediately I went to the second dungeon. I need to find a bow. I already wasted a lot of time and I have to find something, damage, throwability, whatever, in order to beat this run, to be successful. I have to be quick, I have to take risks, but taking risks is a problem. Yep, a trap ended the run. Another one. But I was not to be deterred. I will accomplish it, and the only way to fail is to quit, and I will not quit. Immediately after the run, I began a new run. This run started like any other run, exactly as always. I'm trying to gain a level. Of course, I take the waypoint to the center of the grasslands, and I go inside the dungeon. The difference here, though, is that I got several levels inside the dungeon very quickly, and I also I found some gear. I found a helmet, I found fantastic skills for my from my level ups, and I still have a few bosses. So far, even though the chests aren't so good, as in the loot, it's not a huge problem. I'm still now going towards the forest, and I'm trying to kill every single enemy in the path to get my chain, to get XP, and so on. As soon as I enter the forest, I also got another level up. Also, I found the golden animal. Thankfully, I'm doing okay damage, so I was able to kill it quickly, thankfully. And of course, a level up. I don't waste time. I went to the dungeon, and without destroying a lot of enemies, I went inside the dungeon. To be honest, I took a very long time with this dungeon. The problem with the dungeon is that you basically have to do two 50-50s. You have always two wings that you have to check. In one of the wing is a lever which you have to pull in order to open the door for the second wing, right? And you have to do that twice before you can proceed to the boss room. For me, right now, I lost both of the coin tosses, right? So I had to go twice inside the same room in order to fight the bosses. Thankfully, there were 4 bosses, which means a lot of experience, and in the end it wasn't so bad. I mean, it was slow, but it's not a huge problem. But still, I do have some concerns. As I went north to the northern portion of the forest, and as I took my level up there, as you saw, I had a choice. Do I go to the desert, knowing that I have wasted maybe a whole minute, maybe even more, by just being slow, or do I go inside the dungeon and trying to find some better items and try to level up more quickly? As the level up didn't give me anything special, I decided to go inside the dungeon and try to get as far as possible, as quickly as possible. Thankfully, the dungeon was done very quickly, in like a minute or something and a half. It was done incredibly quickly. I was lucky with the levers I had to pull. I also got 2 levels inside of the dungeon, I believe. And I got all the bow skills that I want. Plus, I also got 3 chests here. But as you can see, I didn't find anything important or cool in them. This is where I decided to go inside the dunes in the desert. Right now, I do believe that with the setup that I have, I do a lot of damage. The problem is I actually do not attack as quickly as I want. Also, I have a problem with my gear because essentially, like in the last couple of runs, I do not have enough HP or survivability, so I'm trying to look for equipment and items that will increase my defense or HP or evade chance and so on. I will not skip this, because I do believe it's important for you to see. I see a fantastic chest plate. I know that it's for my class, and I cannot pick it up.
Come on,
Though
pick it up.
I have a problem. I'm panicking immensely.
This cannot be happening right now.
It's also especially important because it's a chest plate. It means that it has fantastic stats, it has a fantastic defense and so on. And I'm standing here for, what was that? 40 seconds, maybe even longer. And of course I cannot use it still because I'm not the right level, but still I have wasted almost a minute for a singular item. Thankfully, I decided to do what I do best, and that's to farm the enemies and to farm the combo chain in the desert, and then when I'm happy enough with the... also, yeah, we found a bow. We found a bow by farming the enemies. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna go in the dungeon, and hopefully I will just be there for a few minutes and then immediately go to the boss and try to fight it. Thankfully, I found haste. Haste is incredible because I had problems with attack speed. Now, no longer is that any huge problem. I have also done the dungeon in like a minute or something. I also found fantastic skills here, like a level, and right now I feel extremely powerful. Yes, I do only have 2 minutes to the end, but I feel fantastic. I have all the items that I want. I found a bow that's really good. I even stand here and try to... yeah, a fantastic bow. Fantastic bow. I even stand here and try to see all the items that I have. Good. And I found a fantastic chest piece. Also found a demon bow. A legendary bow. Can you imagine that? A legendary bow. I have to go right now. Right now. If there is no time to waste, I have to go immediately to the waypoint. I have to go to the crater of hell, and I have to go through the entire spiral to get to the boss. I only have a minute. Remember, 2 hours, 120 minutes for me to finish the run, as many runs as possible. I also have a problem here with the enemies. They do a lot of damage. They're doing like 100 and something HP of damage every time they hit me. So I almost died there, for example. And I have no way to stop that. I literally have to run and be as quick as possible. I have to take all the risks. I have to evade when there's like 5 of them. I almost died yet again. Like, this is insanity. This is absolute insanity. Also, I'm not able to level up. Yes, and I took all of them to the boss. My entire idea is to go and to kill the boss as fast as possible. I'm here. Me and the boss now only. Come on! Whoo! Did you do it? Is this a win? Yes! Yes! Oh no! It wasn't quick enough. No! It was quick enough, and I will explain. But still, it's a world record. Yo, yes! 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 Woo! Baby! Okay. I promised that I would explain how this run was actually quick enough. If you remember, in the second run, the spellcasting run, I end up defeating the Demon Lord, but as you will see here in the video, I do defeat the Demon Lord, but I do not stop the timer. Remember, in my last run, the successful run, I defeated the boss in 20 minutes and 30 seconds. But here, in my second run, look at now, slowly, I defeated the boss at 1 hour, 39 minutes and 25 seconds. But in the actual run, like in the video, of course, if you keep watching, I stopped the timer at around 1 hour, 39 minutes and 51 seconds. Or in simple words, I had 20 minutes and 35 seconds in order to finish my third run. which means that I had 5 seconds to spare at the end of my third run. If you look at the screen right now, you can see that it's 20 minutes and 30 seconds. For anyone that has managed to survive for an hour and 30 minutes on this insane journey, this insane story, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being with me and sharing this, I guess, experience with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you spent an hour and 30 minutes, I think you probably do, you know. And I wish to thank you because I had an immense amount of fun doing this video for you. And I want to say thank you for watching. Soon there will be a new video because there will be a new update for the game. And I wish you a fantastic day, a fantastic week, and a fantastic life. And I hope I see you in the next video. Goodbye.